Take a look at shares of Nvidia today, hitting a new all-time high once again, also getting a new street high price target. At Bank of America, they see the stock reaching $900 per share, up 20% from here. Nice lift for those shares today, 770, up 3.3%. Josh Brown loves this name.
Yeah, I think what B of A is doing really well in this report is highlighting the absolute invasion that Nvidia is pulling off at the data center. And really, a lot of people have historically thought of this stock as GPUs, like video games and crypto mining. But it is so much bigger than that. They made an acquisition of a company called Mellanox. They've been collaborating with ARM. They'll probably end up closing an acquisition of ARM. And what they've been able to do is penetrate data center servers with GPU chips. But that's only 5% penetration. And B of A is saying that could go to 30% over the next few years, which would imply a triple in data center sales for Nvidia. It could be a $30 billion business. So this is just one more thing to add onto the pile, in addition to all the stuff I've been talking about for 6 years with AI and with autonomous driving and on and on and on, not to rehash the whole litany. But the bigger lesson here, Judge, that I think is really helpful to our viewers, one of the worst mistakes you can make as a new trader coming into this business is to think that you always need to have a new idea and to think that every day you should be trading a new stock. Sometimes your oldest ideas, if you can stick with them, are way better than constantly generating new ideas. And so I have a 1,200% gain in this stock. I could never have that if I were waking up every day being like, all right, what else should I do? Or should I take a profit here and maybe hope to get back in lower? Like, if you have investment ideas that are still valid and in fact growing more valid as time goes by, sticking with them is way more profitable than trying to be cute or clever or outthinking other people and dancing in and out. This is a way better approach to investing. And in fact, when you're up 1,000% plus in something, it offsets a whole lot of things that you were down 10 or 20% you changed your mind on. So not every stock is going to be a long-term hold for you, but the ones that earn a place in your long-term portfolio, you have to tend to them and keep focused on them and not always be tempted to get out of them to do the next thing. The next thing is rarely going to be as good if you know what you're doing.
It's funny you say that because I wanted to bring up with you a point earlier. We didn't get to it, and we're going to get to it now. I'm looking at Crowdstrike, right? It's up today on a decidedly down day.
It's the next Nvidia.
It's, you know, $8 or so. Yeah, $8 or so off of its high. And when our producers asked you in preparation for the program today, hey, what do you have new? Are you buying anything new? You're like, I don't need to buy anything new when my stocks, my growth stocks, like the Nvidias of the world, or this one in particular, Crowdstrike, continue to hit new highs and do well even in a down tape. And it speaks to exactly what you're talking about right now.
Listen, they slaughtered a lot of these growth software names in late February and through March and April. That's a requirement. You have to be able to live through that. I can show you how many 30% drawdowns I've lived through Nvidia since 2015. It's not pleasant. You have to be able to, and the reason why you live through them is because you understand that bigger picture, you're in a secular growth story that's got almost no competition. That's what's going on with Nvidia right now. They own AI. Their platform is unassailable. And I think that's where ultimately things are going to go with Crowdstrike. And that stock, as we're talking, is making a new all-time record high. Okay? So I've been screaming about the stock since $1.20. I'm sticking with it just because it's up and I can trade for free on Robinhood. It's not a reason to trade out. I want to be there, right? So I think about Crowdstrike the same way that I was thinking about Nvidia. Are you going to tell me that you think ransomware attacks are going to go away tomorrow, or they won't get worse or scarier? If you tell me that with conviction, okay, I'll take a profit. But I don't think you can. And in fact, this might be as big of an issue for America in the next 10 years as climate change is, and as much money having to be thrown at this problem. So this is another secular grow. I want to stay long. I want to stay long Nvidia. These companies are changing the world. And I'm not going to change my mind about them just because I'm up 20, 30%, 100% even. So that's the way that I think about investing in individual names away from my broader portfolio.
Yeah, Crowd's at a high of the day, as you see there, as we said on a decidedly down tape. It's not all that $5 or so away from its 52-week. Pete, going back to Nvidia, I mean, you've traded it in the past, I think. Yep. I don't think you own it now. I know you like it. Chips are moving again, too.
Yep. Absolutely they are. And to, you know, I think Josh really lays out a really good plan because he's talking about the investment side. There's also the trading side of things, right? And when I look at the trading side of Nvidia, because I have not been that long-term investor that Josh is talking about, I've had other names that I've chosen over the years, whether it's Apple or Target or whatever it might be. But when I look at Nvidia, there are a lot of traders involved in this stock. And what I mean by that, Scott, is on June 2nd, we had buyers of calls that were going to expire within days. On June 5th, same thing. On June 4th, rather, the same thing. June 7th, the same thing. And they were buying right at the strike, but they were not buying time at all. And they were right. They were right when the stock was trading 660, when it was trading 700, and when it was trading even higher than that. So we've seen a lot of option paper that's come into this name. It's been a great trading vehicle for us as traders in the options world. But, you know, I totally agree with what Josh is saying, which is there are investments out there and you are going to have some pitfalls. And I go back to Apple and I think, well, I've owned this thing forever, literally since the 1990s. And this is a stock where we lost, obviously, the man who created the entire company. We had a lot of fits and starts along the way. A lot of people who didn't really like what was happening with Tim Cook early on. And yet that stock has done nothing but grow and do better and go into different areas of the marketplace than they ever expected probably to be. And they've just continued to be this animal that they are. So I think there are distinguishing facts between whether or not you're investing in a stock or trading in a stock. And I've traded a lot in the semiconductor space. That's been a great activity area. AMD just yesterday, they were buying the 82 strike calls, and before you know it, the stock's trading 85. Those options went from 70 cents up to $3 plus. So it gives you just a great opportunity right in front of the face, like AMD, do I want it long term? I'm not so sure that I do, but I can understand the people who want to be there. But I will trade it. I'll trade Nvidia, and I'll trade a lot of these other names as well because the opportunities are there in front of us.